Welcome to Porchlight, a presentation of Porchlight VNA and Home Care, providing top-rate, highly personalized care to individuals and families in the Berkshires and also in Hampden and Hampshire counties, including our office in Chicopee, all of those services available in your own home. And we are based in Lee. Porchlight is indeed, and a big event that has become simply a tradition in the town of Lee is the Founders, what was once the Founders Day, now has become Founders Weekend, and I'm very happy to welcome to the program the man who has helped organizing much of this, Joe Furgal, a good friend of this program and a good friend of Porchlight, but also a good friend of the town of Lee. So Joe, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And you are a busy man this time of year, no doubt. And this fall, once again, it's the Founders Day weekend. So you're the guy behind the logistics in a lot of ways. So it's an exciting time.
It definitely is an exciting time. And the good news, though, is that we have great people working with us. And the support that I get from the Chamber of Commerce, of course, who is behind this principally, is just great. And for example, the president of the board, Frank Tessier, and the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce, who is Colleen Henry, and along with, of course, Porchlight VNA's CEO. Holly Chaffee is just great, and she's helped us too. So we put it all together, and I think we're going to have a great experience again this year.
A little bit later on the program, we'll talk about that great duck derby that everyone's talking about, which has become a part of the whole weekend experience. But you know, for this, and I presume that you were here at the beginning when Founders Day kind of first came to fruition. So how did that whole idea, because everything starts with an idea, right, and a seed being planted, and it has really grown.
Well, I think what really happened here, it's been around for, I believe it's 22 years now. We've kind of lost track of how long it's been here because it's an annual event that takes place kind of almost automatically. We know we're going to do it. And the great news is, of course, that people got behind it, and the people at that time, of course, was the Chamber of Commerce, and they took it upon themselves to do something. They wanted to do something to bring the community together, is what it really amounted to. And I think you have to somehow plant the seed, and there are enough people around over the years. I know Marilyn Kelly, Mary McGinnis, and a number of the people like that have had a great deal to do with it over the years, and it's just grown. And now the town comes together as a community, and they can also see, of course, what the Chamber of Commerce does for the town. So it serves two purposes, really. It brings people together, and it also lets people see what the Chamber can do for them and all the businesses in town.
And you know, people, when we have these events like this, no matter what community it is, it really is a reflection upon the community, but also it's something that I think from an economic development standpoint is very helpful, because whenever you're drawing people to your community for something great, something like this, and that's why I believe the Chamber is behind it, because that's their role, is to have this great reflection of the town of Lee and say, hey, we want you to do business here. So these events, especially this one in Lee, the Founders Day and the Founders Day weekend, I think it's helpful with that.
Oh, exactly. When you look at it, you have to remember that we are the exit on the Mass Turnpike, and we are the gateway to the Berkshires. Yep. No matter how you look at it, you have to get through Lee to get to the North County and even the South County. Yep. So I think that's the part that really works well with that.
So let's talk about some of the specifics in the weekend. And you have a whole sheet, and I'm assuming this is available, or at least there's a list of events available, perhaps online, and we can get to that in a little bit. But it all begins on Friday?
Right. Friday night is the big night.
And again, that's September 19th.
Right, September 19th to the 21st, and it begins on Friday night with what we have our Taste of Lee. And this is where a number of the restaurants and others in town get together including some other vendors who aren't necessarily in the restaurant business, but they get together and they end up with taking care of Main Street on both sides, where we put together a variety of different foods. So this is where the taste comes from. But it's great food because you get such a variety. I mean, in everything from, for example, there's a venison stew is served, and I know a lot of people love that. And then you have all the businesses right on Main Street, the restaurants. You know, there's just almost too many to remember, or two actually to mention here, but they all have something, and everybody gets a chance to sample what they make available that evening.
Yes, everything from French food. You know, of course, you know the board president is
Right.
Franck, so you can't forget Chez
That's
Nous.
right.
But again, I mean, how about wonderful Mexican food and you know, Baja Charlie's. Now that's one of my favorites. In Lee.
Okay.
I don't know if you go there too often. I'm sure you've been there, but
Sure.
one of my family's favorites, Baja Charlie's. But there's a whole array of the taste of Lee, and then there's some singing.
Yeah, we have entertainment too. We have a couple of we have one musician and also a duo that will be there, and then of course we have the Housatonic Philharmonic Orchestra, and they will be performing on the front steps of Dresser Hall's Main Street showroom, and that activity is really from 6 to 8, and so there's a couple hours of entertainment, and then later that evening though there will be a teen dance, which will be over near the town gazebo in the Department of Public Works parking lot, and that's new this year. We've had a number of these type of block dances and things like this over the years, but we're bringing it back this year. And that was part of we tried to set up something a little more in the way that will be for children and also for teenagers. And Kathy Hall has just done a great job with some of her associates in putting this together. So there are going to be a lot more events over the weekend for children than there were in the past. But the first part of that is from 7 to 9:30. There will be a dance with a DJ over in the Department of Public Works parking lot.
And I see on the list also Lee Idol. So there's a little
Yes.
You know, the Lee Idol, the Voice, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So there's a singing competition actually.
Exactly. That's the college intern program sponsors that every year, and CIP has done this for a few years now, and it's really an exciting event that a lot of people really take part in. And that's on Friday night at 7 o'clock. The first round is scheduled for that Friday night, and then on Saturday night will be the finals. And that's again scheduled for a 7 p.m. Time frame, and that will be held in the Spectrum Playhouse on Franklin Street.
Yeah, beautiful little playhouse there.
Oh, it is.
It's just
former St. George Church.
A little
right?
gem
Right.
in downtown Lee. And then you get to Saturday, and it all starts very early, right? On Saturday morning, or early-ish anyway.
Well, there'll be vendors in the town park, and of course that means that there will be art items, crafts items, and different things like that. But the main thing is, of course, on Saturday morning is we do have the town parade. It's called the Hometown Parade, and that starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, and
Steps
that's
off
always
at 11 a.m. Okay.
right. And that usually runs for about 50 minutes to an hour, and we do close Main Street for both Friday night for the Taste of Lee, and also it will be closed again on Saturday morning for the parade. And that does create some difficulty when people are coming off the Mass Pike and things like that, of course, but unfortunately we don't have a bypass around Lee, so
Well, no. So they'll just
can't
have to
send
pull
it.
over and enjoy the parade.
Enjoy the parade,
I mean,
exactly.
you know, that's what you got to do. So, but that's at 11 a.m. But you know, before that, you know, there's a tag sale.
Yeah, the Porchlight.
That
Porchlight has a
they're
tag
very
sale.
involved, are they not?
Oh,
Yeah.
they always are, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, okay. And then throughout there are children's activities and organized by the Lee Youth Commission. So really, you know, you can kind of bring your family here, and there's going to be all kinds of activities for the kids. It's a really family friendly event.
It
no
is.
doubt.
It's definitely family oriented. And the thing that I think is great is I'm always amazed how some people from town and from even surrounding towns, a lot of people come into Lee for this event. And you don't see them for a year, and then all of a sudden, a year later, you show up and there they are.
Yep.
And so you meet old friends again, and it really does bring the community, and it brings a lot of Berkshire County together too, which I think is just fantastic.
That is great. And then it continues. There are events into Saturday afternoon, but I want to, you know, highlight the fact that, again, this is a 3-day thing, and September 19th through the 21st, so it all starts off 9 a.m. with a road race, actually, a 5K that starts at the Lee Bank parking lot there.
Right.
So that must run sort of through the downtown a little bit, but into the streets,
Right,
into
just,
the
and
neighborhoods.
it's set up in such a way so that it doesn't interfere for any substantial amount of time with
Yeah.
traffic, and also in
You've
such
already
a
done
way.
enough of that in the first 2
Yeah,
days, right?
we hear about it too, and it's unfortunate. I mean, we do everything we can to try to make it easier on everybody, but it's just let's face it, the way the town is set up and everything, you've got a main route running right through the center of town. And
That's right. So, I mean, you know, there are the challenges of that, but it's also a good thing in the sense
Yeah,
that all
it
the
brings
energy,
people in.
it really
Right.
does.
And-
And then you have, and we'll talk about this more in the second half with your good friend,
Right.
Ed Lahey, and he was already giving you the business as he walked into the studio. So I know you two go way
Well,
back, but that's the Duck Derby that's
Right.
coming up
Well,
as well.
we go way back, but Ed's going to be chasing ducks all the way to Connecticut because, believe me, they find them down there.
That's right. Now they call you up and
They have sent some back, I understand.
have they? Okay, recycling. We recycle
Right,
the
it
ducks.
recycles them. Bruce Singer did it last year, and he ran
Interstate
into that.
recycling.
That's
of
right.
the ducks.
The major event on Saturday, by the way, is going to be the Big Green Egg Burger Bash, where Henry's Electric is going to sponsor the best burger contest.
Oh,
so
okay,
there's several
okay.
restaurants are already involved in that, and that'll be after the parade. And of course, there's the children's activities, and then that evening, of course, is Festival Latino,
Right.
which is
Right.
always a big draw. It brings a lot of people. It's an exciting event.
Yes, that is a huge event, and that's late into Saturday
Yeah,
evening.
that
but-
runs at
yeah,
4 o'clock
yeah.
till 8 o'clock in the evening, and it's a great event with a lot of the town park. It's in the town park, and of course, it brings the whole park alive.
Yeah, and really celebrating the diversity that is now Berkshire County and the town of Lee. Really tremendous, and I've heard so much about that particular party, and that keeps growing
Right.
each and every year.
The Lee Community Tennis Association is also involved. They're going to have on Sunday. They have a program of a vintage tournament, a vintage tennis tournament. So that should be quite exciting.
Wooden rackets. Are we having
Yes.
Wooden, oh my
You
gosh.
have to use a wooden racket.
Like big John McEnroe hair, headbands, and all that stuff.
You can dress the part too if you'd
That
like.
that's what I like to see. So so how can people learn more? I know that the Lee Chamber has a great website, and so it's online there. But how can people get in touch with you, Joe, and learn more?
Right. There's more information, of course, on the website, which is www.leefounders, that's LEEFOUNDERS, weekend.com. That's www.leefoundersweekend.com. And that's the best place to find information.
Fantastic.
Also to get applications for the parade, if you want to participate in the parade or one of your groups, and or of course for for the vendors, any vendors who want to participate at any time during the weekend. And all the information is there with the restrictions, any rules that are applicable. And so that has been our way of getting this information across to people.
Outstanding. Well, Joe Furgal, great pleasure having you on the program, and we'll be talking about the Duck Derby in just a little bit with Ed, but thank you for all the work that you have done for this, and I can't wait. It's going to be another great year of the Founders Day.
It is. We're looking forward to it, and it's always fun to do something for the town like this and see the people happy and enjoying themselves, but most of all, getting everyone together.
Right. Well,
So,
thank you, Joe, so much for that, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Porchlight. I'm John Krol, and we had a conversation with Joe Furgal before about the whole Founders Day. Now, a key part of Founders Day is community goodwill and also raising some dollars for a good cause. And I'm very happy to welcome to the program someone who is very interested in making sure that you have a vested interest in a particular duck or ducks for a duck derby. We have Ed Lahey on the program now, and Ed, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
Quack, quack.
And you have the, you're quacking, and you also have the props here for
Well,
it, and to give you scale and scope, because I know you're a tennis player, and I know you love tennis, but these ducks are little guys here.
Yes, and this one I had to put a diaper on him this morning because he's not housebroken yet, and we didn't want to ruin the studio.
Now, can we get a close-up on this? I'm not sure, but at least we can get a little closer to the camera here. Yeah, I mean, they're small. It fits right in the palm of my hand, but you don't want it, this duck, you know, it'll be labeled, so you get a duck.
Well, actually, if I gently pick him up and show you, there's a number on the underside, and each duck has its own number. And we're selling chances on these ducks. Of course, the reason the tennis ball is here, being a tennis player, we have a lot of extra tennis balls. And I suggested to the Porchlight that rather than sacrifice these ducks, some of them are too young to swim and they drown, and the eagles come from the eagle mill and they attack them and steal them. And I just suggested we do it with tennis balls, but of course it didn't fly, or it didn't bounce, I guess
So
is
to
a better
speak.
way of speaking.
So to speak.
So we have our ducks.
I'm being bombarded with puns right now, and I'm trying to figure them all out right now. But no, this is good.
I didn't mean to punish
Now
you.
now they run these ducks. They'll travel south, and they'll make it all the way past into the Connecticut, past the border and into Connecticut. And we've
That's
actually gotten
true.
calls in the past. So we've actually recycled these ducks.
Well, this
in
year
the past.
we have little radio transmitters on each one, and we can track them down with the radio transmitters, and then we have a big net set up in Stockbridge, and we hope to scoop any ducks that try to escape.
You try to get them all. So now, okay, now let's get down to the brass tacks. How does this work? Now,
Okay.
you buy a duck.
Actually, for $5 you can buy a ticket, or 6 tickets for $25.
Okay.
And a number of people.
Would that mean 6 ducks?
Yes.
Okay.
Six ducks. It's 6
For
tickets
$25,
for
okay.
25, and each one has its own number, and all of the ducks go in at the same time at the bridge over the Housatonic River at Laurel Street, and it's just below the Eagle Mill, and then they proceed down to West Park Street.
Because the Housatonic flows south.
South, exactly, and they are collected as they come in, and the numbers are written down, and the first 20 or 25 that come in will receive a prize.
Okay.
And
What are the prizes? Let's see what we're going to get here.
just about everybody in Lee has offered something.
Now,
but
is this duck actually going to, is this,
yes.
okay,
Yes,
so this is
he's-
number 32.
Yep.
Okay, so we're
He's
putting
gotta go
this
back.
on record right now that if this guy makes it,
We,
number
we
one.
get $100
We-
each just for
Just for-
promoting
I
that
don't know.
duck. Anyway, the list before you get too far off target here. Just for example, Paper Deli, $100 gift certificate. Chez New Bistro,
Yeah.
$100 gift certificate. Henry's Electric, $100 gift certificate. Iredale Mineral Cosmetics, $100 gift box. And then they go on down 25s and 50s, and one from Ray Murray to be announced. And just about almost every business in Lee has offered something. Starving Artist is there, and Timothy's Restaurant, and Delaney's Grill, Zabian's, Lee Hardware, NBT.
It's tremendous. Now, are you out there selling the ducks? I know our
Yes.
friends from Porchlight are out there
Well,
as well.
You remember, I'm a board member, a 36-year
You
board
are.
member.
You are. So
of
you are
Porchlight.
Porchlight on
Well,
a variety of levels.
Marita Stratton has got me beat by about 25 years, but other than that, I think I'm about the oldest board member there.
Yes. It would be tough to beat Maria Stratton in that competition.
Yes, Marita is wonderful, and I just found that she's still doing very well.
That's great.
And it was good to hear.
Tremendous. And actually, you can see her story right on the Porchlight website.
Absolutely.
Porchlighthomecare.org. As I digress a little bit, but again, how many ducks would you anticipate will be dropped into the Housatonic River for this?
I would guess that.
By the way, it's Saturday, the 20th of September.
Actually,
I believe.
it's
if I have that
it's
right.
Sunday the 21st.
Okay,
is
because
the
on
right-
this list area, I thought it was on. So it is the 20. Oh, here it is, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
on the 21st. Okay.
10 a.m. on the 21st. I don't know if your
My
camera could
apologies.
pick that sheet up, but
Yep. Right here. So if you see this out in the community, you'll see the whole. We won't be able to get a close up here
No.
on this particular show, but if you see that flyer, that's what that's all about. So then, how do people get their duck?
well, you can buy your tickets for your duck at NBT Bank, at the Porchlight VNA offices at 32 Park Street in Lee, at the Lee Chamber of Commerce in the park, and most of the board members have already gotten their tickets and are willing to sell them and get more if we need to. So I will have them available if anybody'd like to call me at my home, which is 243-3240, and Joe Furgal, I'm sure, will have many tickets, and we just try to make as much as we can, and we've got enough ducks to cover all the tickets.
And absolutely, you can probably stop by Porchlight, which you said 32 Park Street, but also go to the website.
Absolutely.
And call the phone number 243-1212.
Right.
I know Heather Ralph is very involved in this, but basically anyone you talk to over at Porchlight.
They all have the story.
They have the story.
They were working on it this morning. They have their ducks in a row. They were over there, all 300 of them landing. It was so
Literally.
cute, and this guy
Literally.
got away, and so I brought him down, and I just brought a diaper for him. So
It's not often that you actually literally see the ducks in a row. I mean,
That's
I mean, we want to get our ducks in a row, but
Absolutely.
we literally are going to have the ducks in a row, and I'm sure there'll be more ducks out there than ever.
I hope so.
In this one, so we're really excited. I can't wait to get that image of all those ducks flying into the river.
Well,
and they're all, and technically they're all the same, but are they really? I mean, is
Yes.
okay? They're the same.
they're all the
okay.
same. They're exactly the same. The race is not rigged in any way.
No aerodynamic.
In they go.
In
they go, and unless the eagles come down from the eagle mill and
That's
pick
right.
a couple
Well,
of
that's
them
just,
off,
that's
they'll
just,
all make it.
That's just part of the game. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
have
the
you
odds,
Have, you have obstacles.
Right.
It's not an easy journey for these little guys.
Well, my notes say these adorable and numbered ducks race to the end, where they're picked up in order and assigned their prize.
right.
You will not need to be present to win. We'll contact you if you have won.
Okay. So hopefully your duck wins, and we're rooting for number 32. This was
Absolutely.
We're going to hope for this little guy to make it all the way, and if he doesn't win, maybe he gets past the net and makes it down into the Connecticut River Valley. Or
They'll have a
something
whale
like
of a ride.
that. A whale of a ride. So, Ed Lahey, a great pleasure. Always. Thank you for all the work that you do for the community and also for Porchlight and the time you've spent on their board and everything.
Well, the same. You've been very helpful to the VNA, and deeply appreciated.
Ed, thank you very much. And this has been Porchlight, a presentation of Porchlight VNA Home Care.